The Patriots are 4-2 going into Week 7 of the NFL season, and they face the Tennessee Titans. I think this is going to be a cakewalk. The Patriots should come out of this week at 5-2, and it's looking really good for the Patriots. But as someone who always wants them to be perfect, we know that the Patriots aren't perfect. So on today's show, we're going to talk about the defensive needs and the offensive needs that the Patriots have. And that's why you subscribe to the channel. Join the 32,000 strong. We're almost at 33,000 here on Patriots Today. So if you love the Pats, if you love all the content, hit that subscribe button right now. So on today's show, we're going to be dissecting everything that the Patriots need to do to get better, because they have 2 losses. They aren't perfect. And there were some specific things that I saw with the offense and the defense that I think really needs to improve if the Patriots really want to be contenders in this league. If they want to be, when we go to January, be in the playoff hunt, be in the Super Bowl race. And we're going to start with the offense. And the first thing that I think that they need to do is, with the loss of Antonio Gibson tearing his ACL, which I wish him the best recovery, the Patriots obviously need a new running back. They only have 2 on the roster right now. And right now, Rhamondre Stevenson and Treveyon Henderson are not being they're not good. They're not being good. And I got the pictures to prove it. This was a screenshot from the Saints game. And you can see right here that they're only rushing 3. If you look in hindsight, you're thinking, oh, this is clearly going to be a gain because there's no one getting to the running back. Well, this resulted in a loss. You can see right here, I can tell you Rhamondre Stevenson took the handoff, and he did not get any yardage on the play. And then fully, if we want to talk about the running backs as a whole from the game, they didn't play well. Rhamondre Stevenson, 13 carries, man. 18 yards. 1.7 yards per carry is bad. And then, you have the rookie. You have Treveyon Henderson. A little bit better. 9 carries for 27 yards. But that's not good. A 3.0 yards per carry, that's terrible. And when you kind of compare it to all of the league, they're dead last. We know how good the passing game is. We know how good Drake May has been. He's been one of the best quarterbacks, top 5 in the NFL with the passing game, but the running game is non-existent. 32nd in EPA. What is it? Estimated yards per attempt? Whatever it is. Yes, points per attempt per rush, EPA. It's a very confusing new analytical graphic, but 32nd in success rate per rush. So they are dead last in the league when they have positive yardage. They don't get positive yardage. And then 29 in yards per rush. Yeah, it's not good. And what the tape shows, if you go back and watch the Saints game, if you go back and watch the Bills game, because the run offense was not good at all. They don't have that runner that's explosive, that you can break to the outside like a Jahmyr Gibbs. Like if we want to go to one of the rookies, like Amari and Hampton. It's your they've been rushing with Rhamondre Stevenson, your downhill runner trying to go in between the tackles. And I don't have the picture for you right now, but if you look at Treveyon Henderson's kind of rush chart, he all runs just straight through the middle of the line of scrimmage, and he's not gaining anything. The holes aren't opening for him, and he's not a strong enough runner to kind of break through. But I will say, with how bad the running backs are, it's not fully the running back's fault. It's not all of the running back's fault. The offensive line has a lot to blame here. And when you look at the statistics, this is why the offensive line is at fault. They're 25th in rushing yards before contact. So they're not even getting on the outside. They're not creating any holes for the running backs to go. They have no holes. They can't break outside because the offensive line is not blocking. And here's one of the offensive line pictures that I found. This is after Drake May runs the ball to the 2-yard line, and you think, okay, the Patriots can punch this in, which they did not. But if you look at Jared Wilson, he is on the left side. If he's the 3rd offensive lineman, he is way further back than what all the other offensive linemen is. And if you can see the Saints defender, he's pointing at Jared Wilson because he knows that he's about to pull. He knows exactly what the Patriots are going to do. He breaks through the line of scrimmage, gets to Rhamondre Stevenson, and it results in another loss for the Patriots. It's not all the running backs. The offensive line has to be better too. But I don't want to improve the offensive line. The passing grades are incredible. I want to get a better running back. I want to add another running back to this roster. Treveyon Jennings, I like you on the practice squad, but I want someone to excel that. And if you look at Adam Schefter's reports, which we made a video on that earlier this week, names have been floated around as trade candidates as we get closer and closer to that November 4th trade deadline. And I think there are multiple running backs that the Patriots could trade for when you're looking. Alvin Kamara, unfortunately, he did take his name out. He said, yeah, if the Saints trade me, I'm going out and I'm going to be somewhere drinking pina coladas. So he said, don't trade me. Breece Hall, Jaylen Wright, and Devin Singletary, those are guys to look at. I'm also looking at a Jerome Ford. I'm also looking at possibly Dameon Pierce. I saw one, Bill Barnwell. He came up with a trade idea, Kyle Duggar for Dameon Pierce. And I tweeted it out and I said, yes, give me that every single day of the week and on Sunday. But the one guy I'm looking at, and I don't think it's very possible, but give me Breece Hall, please, Jets. The Jets suck. They are the laughingstock of the NFL. They are 0-6, and they could be on a fire sale. And Pat's Planet Media on Twitter, shout out to him. He does an amazing job from what I see, his content and all the graphics he puts out, just putting the work in. Go give him a follow on Twitter. He mentioned this that Jeremy Fowler reported as Breece Hall being a potential trade target. Team execs have pegged the Patriots among teams that could look to add a back. And Breece Hall said publicly that he doesn't want to be traded, but he's also on an 0-16. So it feels like all bets are off. And when you look at Breece Hall, compared to Ramondre Stevenson, compared to Treveyon Henderson, who are averaging less than 4 yards a carry, Breece Hall's clearly on his way to 1,000 yards. 4.7 yards per carry. No touchdowns? Well, because the Jets can't get in the red zone whatsoever because Justin Fields sucks. But if you look at his receptions too, he has 17. So he can play that pass-catching back just as well as Ramondre and Treveyon Henderson. Now, it's in division, so you're probably going to have to pay that in-division tax, where instead of it being a 4th-round pick, you're going to have to give a 3rd-round pick or a 3rd-round pick, and it's going to have to be a 2nd-round pick for what the Jets think he's worth. But if you added him to the team, this would be really, really good. He gives them a run game on the outside of the tackles. When do you ever see Ramondre Stevenson break one to the outside? No, he is that in between the trenches. And Treveyon Henderson just hasn't been given the keys yet to where we can see his full potential. But when you get Breece Hall, you have an established back. You know what you're getting if you trade for Breece Hall. I just don't know if the Patriots are going to be willing to give up that in-division tax that I talk about. That's going to cost them more than another team, such as an NFC team where the Jets don't have to face them twice in one season. I'll ask you guys, though. Should the Patriots trade for Breece Hall? What do you think? Yes? No? Or do you think we should just bring up Treveyon Jennings from the practice squad? Or even if you don't think so, if you're giving me a no, go down in the comments and tell you what running back you would want to trade for. Gonna get to the defensive problems in just a second, but first I gotta tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You can now follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app. I know you see Marshawn Lynch and Drewski on those graphics. Yeah, you can go with their lineups and copy it in one click. Whether it's a friend, celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit that follow button and check out every single lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. I got a lineup for this weekend's game, New England, Tennessee. And we're talking about the running game, right? And how bad it is? Well, New England does not allow any 50-yard rusher. Give me the less on Tony Pollard. Give me the less on Ramondre Stevenson. And basketball season is right around the corner. Next week, you can take the more on Steph Curry, the max discount. Make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, talking about the defensive needs, and the one thing that I think the Patriots that they need to do specifically is they need depth at the edge position. And why is that? You're kind of thinking, well, Brett, don't go to that moose because you could see that right there. But you can see the Patriots, they need depth at the edge position. And you might think, well, Brett, they have Chaisson. They have Harold Landry. They're good at the edge position. Well, we've seen through the last couple of weeks that, Chaisson did not play in that game against the Buffalo Bills. And then who came up? Keion White. or Anfernee Jennings. Those guys aren't that good. You need some more depth at the edge position. And if you look at this edge depth chart, it's just not that great. And yeah, you can bring up some guys off the practice squad, like a Bradyn Swinson. Last week, Truman Jones came up. It's one of Mike Vrabel's favorite players on the team that's on the practice squad. I like Chaisson. I like Harold Landry. But injuries are plaguing this edge room a lot. Chaisson, even Keion White, Harold Landry, they're all dealing with injuries this season. Harold Landry, who wants to get his revenge game against Tennessee, is dealing with an ankle injury and might not even play on Sunday. So that brings in Keion White. That brings up Anfernee Jennings to start for the Patriots. And if you look at their statistics, what do the edge try to do? Get to the quarterback? They don't get to the quarterback. Yeah, you got Harold Landry and Chaisson at 25 and 21, which is awesome, but look at their backups. These guys are getting reps, and they're not getting to the quarterback. If Harold Landry or Chaisson goes down, if they get hurt, your edge room is cooked. It's done over with. And you have to just knock on wood. I hope they stay healthy. But God forbid one of those guys get hurt. They're done. It's time to trade for a depth piece for this team. And there's one guy in particular that I'm looking at that was listed on Adam Schefter's trade candidates like we talked about with the running backs. There's a couple of defensive ends. There's a couple of edges. There's one guy I'm looking at in particular. He's not that great of a defender, so it's not going to cost you that much, and you play him week 7. It's Arden Key. And you can see right here, 6 tackles, sack and a half, 1 tackle for loss. He's dealing with a little bit of injuries, but when he's healthy, he's a good player. He's your good depth piece. Like, I think that the Patriots would do well with bringing him in. He's been coached by Mike Vrabel before, back when Vrabel was in Tennessee in 2023, so he knows how he plays. I think he is a perfect fit for this team. And if he plays on Sunday, it's kind of a tryout for him. So I'm willing to do that. I think you need to add some edge. I think you need to add some edge depth to this team, or just in case someone gets hurt, because if it does, you're in a lot of trouble. Before we get on out of here, should the Patriots trade for an edge before the trade deadline? Give me a T for trade or give me a P for pass down below. We'll be live on Sunday for Patriots versus Titans. You're not going to want to miss out. It's going to be a good game. I think the Patriots might blow this team out. So hit that sub button, and as always, let's go Pats.